got one question for you. Are you ready?
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is us again. We are back to entertain you with another wonderful episode of Tasty Licks Music. What is going on? And this time we have an amazing guest, Chokehold. What is going on, brother? How are you doing?
Dude, doing great. It's just another day in paradise, just enjoying the day off from work and hanging out at home, cooking, hanging out with the fam. So it's been great.
I hear that you are in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, or around that area, right?
Yes. So we originate the whole Chokehold group, and I apologize that Elijah and Eric couldn't be here tonight. Work is chaos. So, but yeah, we originate at Harrisburg. I actually live in Lancaster now, but Elijah and Eric both live in Harrisburg. So I do a little bit of the commute right now for that aspect.
That's cool. You know what's so crazy? And me and Chef have had a lot of different people from PA due to Carnival of Chaos. And but the funny thing is that we're hearing such amazing freaking music. I mean, it's coming from metal. Your music is not metal, but still just vibrantly wonderful. We're just
like I said, I told you, I think right from the get go, like when you hear Chokehold, I'm thinking like it's gonna grab you like by the throat. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's gonna be metal
or whatever. But like it really caught me off guard. But I mean, it's still like a good vibe music. You know what I'm saying? It's still a balance of that good vibe, but still like some rock in there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't disappoint.
That's totally true there. Totally true there. And that's what we're loving is coming out of the Northeast. So I'm from Southwest. I'm used to my sister who's living in Nashville, also lived in LA, all that music from those areas. That's where you normally think about it. Maybe some New York. But small town Pennsylvania is totally kicking ass right now with some great like on fire music. And then Chokehold is a nice celebration of rock and almost indie. I really love it. Very lyrical. I love the lyrics, and that's what really grabs me. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but you know what's now, everybody. You know what's now. It's a little bit of food time. So we're going to go talk desserts, and I know the main man here, he has a dessert for us. So let's hear about this dessert.
So tonight, I made this vanilla cake. And it's got a homemade chocolate icing, and I put strawberries on top of it. I don't know, it's almost gone, so I brought a piece in, but I hope you guys enjoy my delicate piece of cake here. But no, we were going for like chocolate covered strawberries, and then I was like, let's make a cake. And I was like, well, I gotta make a cake for the interview anyways, so I thought I'd bring you guys some cake.
Yeah, you said you made cake. I'm like, bro, that's awesome.
That's right. That's right.
I love the cook, man. I love it. And then the bake too.
There you go.
Yeah, well, cooking, baking, you got it down. Yes, I love it when people make something. It's so cool, and especially because when you love to cook, you're really into the ingredients and everything that goes into it. So, what's a little bit of the ingredients for people out there so they can rock this themselves?
Honestly, so I literally just it's so like the icing's actually a secret recipe, unfortunately. It's actually my mom's. But I actually just went with I honestly just went with like a standard cake batter, but I threw some bananas in there, and I threw a little bit of cream in there, and I actually threw a little bit of cinnamon there too, to add a little touch in there, just a little bit. And I don't know, it kind of creates a good balance, man. Like we were talking today, we were talking about like doing like a banana cream pie, but I thought like we needed more like a vanilla icing, so it didn't really work. So I was like, let's just do it this way, And we had to wanted to use the strawberries. We have so many strawberries at our house right now, it's crazy. So, we had to make an ass out of that. But yeah, it was good. I wish I could really share it with you. And it's really like I hate using this word. It's like really moist, which is really good too. About 30 minutes.
Oh, so set all those moist people off. It set all the moist people off. Watch out! Watch out! That word.
Moist.
Moist.
It's a good description.
It's the next Chokehold song, you know. Moist.
Moist. Like that.
Love it.
That's all ASMR. Like, it's so
moist. Hey, chef, want some of my moist cake, brother? Hell yeah.
It's like, welcome to Tasty Licks,
where we have moist cake for you.
That's what I was gonna say. You guys are awesome, man. Thanks for having me. By the way, I really appreciate it. Taking the time tonight.
Oh, we enjoyed this so much. I look forward to this. You know, this is my good place to be, my good vibe thing to go do every week, and what a fun time to be able to talk about some great music. So, but first, we're still talking some food. So he has made some moist secret recipe cake. Love it. I love mom's recipes. Those are the best ever.
Honestly, it is my mom's recipe. She would kill me.
She would.
I
totally get it. You gotta have.
That's how Rosie from Chaos, Dave's wife, she made a. Oh my God! Now I can't remember the pie that she made, but it's like top secret. She can't tell me how she makes it. Otherwise, she would have to. Yeah.
She'd have to kill you.
Erase my mind. Yeah.
That's. So I'm going to show you something that's gonna make you think about where I don't have a dessert. Well, I have a dessert in hand. It's not really a dessert. It's a back to ingredients today. But what I'm doing is I'm going to tell you about. You're going to see these, and this is where I was at this weekend, if you can guess it. And this weekend, I have some pictures, and you can go check them out on IG for some food that I partaked in this. So I went somewhere where, if you look at these are avocados. Ooh. Where did Andy go this weekend? That they grow a lot of avocados? Anybody? It's a western state. I'm in the Southwest. Remember, I'm in the Southwest. It touches Arizona, and they grow a lot of avocados.
Were you in Cali?
I went to Cali this weekend. I went to San Diego, you know.
Oh, did you catch the Padres game? The Padres just made that big trade, man, with Soto and Josh Bell. I don't know if you're sports guys, but
yep, they did. And you know, of course, the Padres are always looking to get better every year. I'm a Diamondbacks fan, of course, because I'm from Arizona. But you know, the Padres are always. I had some aunts that were really into Padres baseball, so we were in San Diego. And I'm going to show you some pictures. I am just going to show you this. So we went to a place called Moe's. So we went there, and it was just like, hey, this has been ranked pretty good. It's our 15th wedding anniversary. So yay. So we were like, hey, we're going to go somewhere really cool. So we go to this place called Moe's, and it's a really nice, secluded little spot on Mission Beach. And so we go in, and I really don't know. I just know it's maybe a steakhouse. You know, maybe it's a good steakhouse. I'm going to say that it is one of those places like Fleming's. I think it's even a step up from maybe even Fleming's. It was so good. And then the wait staff was amazing. So MJ, you rock if you're out there. I know that I told you I would tell you about it. But can you see this?
Oh, yeah.
This is a strawberry. This is strawberries, berries. It had blueberries, strawberries, I think it had those not boysenberries, but the blackberries in there. And then it was like this shortcake with a crust on it of like pineapple. It was with ice cream. And then my wife I don't even think it was like a caramel tiramisu.
That looked good.
Holy, like it was so good that I was so stuffed because we just wanted to eat the dessert too, that we had two different, we shared a steak, part of a steak, and then we shared a bit of a chicken thing because we were both foodies. we were full by then, and then we went for the dessert, and we were like, we can't resist what's on this plate. And this lady MJ, who was if you go to fine establishments, you always get that waiter that's just waitress in this case, just amazing. Just like, can I help you enough? You're just like overwhelming good staff, and you're just like, so if you are in San Diego, you are near Mission Beach, go check out Moe's. It is one of the best places I've ever eaten, and did a fabulous job for our anniversary. So yeah, totally par excellence, fun stuff. Yeah, it was totally fun. 15 years of putting up with my silly ass, all the stuff that I am all about. So anybody who puts up with me for 15 years deserves a really good steak and some tiramisu and and whatever else.
Stuff it up.
So yeah, totally fun. And then, so you know what that leaves us with? We got to bow down yet again to the chef. What did he throw down?
The chef, what you do?
The cake
did he come with secret recipes today? Did he come?
No, not secret recipe. I actually it's not my recipe actually. Somebody actually sent me this. I was like, per an idea. So somebody was like, hey, what are you making for dessert? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, any suggestions? So, good friend of mine, her name's Kim. She actually, I'm gonna shout her out. So she'll watch this later on. So, I made a panna cotta. So I did panna cotta. As a coffee espresso, like chocolate panna cotta. So
nice.
Chocolate hasn't like set on it, but like it's still kind of melty. So I'm gonna take like I'll take this little off for a second. So it's right there.
Oh man.
So
my guy.
Shouts
in Florida right now, my dude.
Shout out right there.
No. So. Yes.
You are. That is a masterpiece, my friend.
Okay, can you share the ingredients and recipe and how you made this bad boy, my friend?
So yeah, I'll pull a recipe right now.
Kim, thank you for sharing this with the chef so that we could see this. That's awesome.
Also a metalhead. She's her favorite band is Slipknot, so she's a knothead.
They're going back on tour.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
So for the panna cotta, it's no baking involved, straight up no baking. It's got to turn on the top, the burner. That's about all you got to do.
There you go.
1.5 cup of heavy cream, 1.5 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of caster sugar, which is like just like a fine powdered sugar, not powdered sugar, but it's like a fine sugar. Tablespoon of espresso powder and a tablespoon of gelatin powder to firm it up and stuff. So pretty much you're just heating up the milk, adding the gelatin, letting it sit, mix it up a little bit, incorporate it. You pretty much add the sugar until it's melted, and then you pretty much add the cream and espresso powder. Mix that up, pretty much pass it through like a sieve, like a fine mesh strainer, so you don't get like a lot of the granules and stuff. So this still has some of the granules in it because I couldn't really strain it as much. But you let it cool down. You kind of you put it in whatever dish you want to put it in. Let it sit out for room temperature, and then put it in the fridge for about a couple hours, an hour. And then you kind of melt a 2/3 cup of chocolate, chopped milk chocolate, 1/3 cup of cream. Pretty much heating the cream up, adding it to the chocolate, let it melt, mix that up, pour it on top, whatever like little layer of it, and then white chocolate chips kind of thing. Keep it in the fridge. Keep it in the fridge, cover it up, and let it eat whatever. So
I'm gonna make these. Literally, I want to make these.
Yes. It sounds amazing, doesn't it?
Dude, that's awesome. That gives me. I haven't done anything like that yet. I just got into baking recently because my girlfriend has 4 kids. So I'm always trying to find ways to reward them after they eat. And this sounds like something would be on that level. So I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Is it caffeinated though? Because will he have kids that will be bouncing off the walls if he caffeinates?
I think this is caffeinated. This has caffeine, but I mean, you can pretty much use. I mean, that's just like a little. It's almost like a custard texture. It's almost like a flan kind of thing, but it's like you're not baking it. It doesn't have any eggs in it.
Here's what you do: is on the day that you leave for the day, Josh, and she has the kids, make them one of these. And then you just say, hey, I've made a treat before I leave. Here you go.
They're going, oh my God.
This is so I'm going to tell you, I'm old, as everybody knows. So I have grandkids. And what I do is I love to wind them up. We'll give them a ton of ice cream and then go, not ours. There you go, dropped off. And then they're wired and just crazy and sugar high, and they're just running around, and we're like, yeah, that's your problem now.
My parents do. That's what my parents do. And like there's a place near it's called Bellinger Donuts in Lancaster. I don't know if you've been there. They're Belgium donuts. Ooh. But my parents came to visit this weekend because we just got a house in East Petersburg, which is like 10 minutes outside Lancaster.
Right on.
And literally, my mom's like, oh yeah, we got them donuts. Come back in the house, each one have donuts. Like 10, 15 minutes later, they're all over the place.
It's cornholio time. That's right. I am the band. Yes, indeed. I love that. I love that part of being a grandparent is just, wiring them up with so much sugar that they can possibly, and then they just setting them off like a top into their parents' house.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with them. They were fine with me. What did you do, Dad? Just nothing. We just went out to eat. We just had some ice cream. What? We just had some Starbucks. Nothing wrong with that.
Just a couple of frappuccinos.
Just a couple of frappuccinos, caramel frappuccinos. That's what we were hooked on this weekend. I'll tell you that we were in Mission Beach, and there's a Starbucks like right on the corner, right next to Mission Beach. And I was like, I need to get caffeinated for this beach time because I'm going to go out and bodyboard all day long. So,
yeah, man.
And I paid the sun god for that one.
Oh, yeah.
I got so burned. I was like the next day, like, don't touch me. My face is bright red. I still have like a little bit of a blister from the beach time. And but you got to have a beach day when you go to San Diego. You just got to have one beach day. And then we did one of the coolest things I've ever done. And so we went, and I said, this is on the top 10 things of all time that I've ever done. We were like kind of sunk because we were like, there was this, go watch some seals in the Mission Bay. And so if you guys know San Diego, there's a bunch of stuff to do around the bay. So we go and we're going to rent this boat, but there wasn't any opening. So we're like, oh, darn, what can we do? My wife finds a whale watching adventure. We go out into the ocean, and Sunday afternoon, we're out there and we see a blue whale. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life. It was.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, there was like 2 of them out there, and like it's like extremely rare, and they're huge animals. Like they are the largest animals that have ever existed on the face of the planet ever. So it was just beautiful, and we got to see him we were out there like it must have been half an hour, 40 minutes, and the boat guy was like, "This is the closest we've ever been to blue whales ever." So we were just like, this is so cool. And then, we're so stoked. And then we had to come home.
What's funny is about regarding the whale thing. So Candace, my late wife, she did not like whales. Like she thought that like literally like no big animal should be out in the ocean. And so like every time, I mean, I would mess with her so hard. Like I would mess with her, like, hey, want to go whale watching? Let's go whale watching. Like, no. You want to watch anything on TV with whales? Nothing had to do with whales. She was like, nope, nothing. And I'm like, hey, babe, like the largest whale is like 100 feet, and she's like, shut up.
Shut up. They're big animals. This is the funny thing is they're so gentle, and we were just like, and they're just there to eat those little those krill, like just little baby shrimp that are like very, very small, or crustaceans of some sort. And they just eat these things and they don't even have real teeth. They just have baleen, which is like a hair substance thing that just sifts these things out like a net. And then they just suck those down by the millions. It's crazy, but it was just so beautiful, and it was a perfect day. And then we were so far out there. You're like 15 miles away. You're like, they said that we're at the drop off for where like the big deep ocean happens. So It was really cool.
Dude, that's
Now,
awesome.
now the funny thing about it is that we were like, hey, we listened to the boat guy. The boat guy says, hey, go take these pills because people who don't take these pills are going to get sick. There's like people that didn't take the pills and they're just like, oh, barfing over just throwing up. It was like, yeah, it was the motion sick people were everywhere.
Oh,
like 5 or 10 people hating life. Yeah, we were just like hating. We're like, this is so beautiful. And there's these people. It was 3 hours.
I've never been on a cruise and anything like that. So I mean, but watching those kind of videos, you're like, man, like I wonder how that would be. Then you see like all the other like what could happen on a cruise ship. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go on a cruise ship.
Well, yeah, we were pretty far out there. Like we lost sight of land. You're far enough out there to lose sight of land. So it was so it was just really beautiful. But we saw dolphins, porpoises. Cool. I mean, there was like 4 different varieties of dolphins, a ton of birds. So really a totally cool. If you guys, anybody ever gets a chance to go to San Diego, I suggest doing the whale watching thing. There's a Legacy Whale Watch is the name of the company that we went on. Great. And he's entertaining too. So that's always fun, you know.
Nice.
And just make sure you take the motion sickness pills. They sell it in the shop or on the boat. Take them. Don't try to do I don't know if I'm seasick. You'll find out.
or just take an edible.
Yeah, taking it. You could do that too. It'd be a totally different experience. Totally different experience. Whoa. Look at those whales.
No signal.
They're beautiful. Maybe that's mushrooms. Maybe we're talking about mushrooms, but
yeah, maybe.
Tripping on mushrooms. But anyway, I digress. And so we're going to go to ask some questions about food. And so when you're about ready to go on, you're out there touring. What is your go-to food place?
Go-to? Oh, like any type in specifically?
Any place you say, hey, if I go out and I'm touring, what is it that I have to be eating? Or what is it like your staple? Like I know I'll go get some good food here.
Oh, like a cheesesteak for sure. Like a cheesesteak. Like actually we just had a show this past Friday at the Kennel in York, which is an awesome place, by the way. They have great food, by the way, too. Low key, like some of the best quesadillas I've ever had, by the way. But like there's a diner like right down the street, like right on the way home, like when we get to Lancaster, and we stopped there, and like they have like really good like classic like cheesesteak sandwiches, and it's just like a place to go, man. But like it's just, I don't know, there's just something about that like 1 o'clock in the morning, you just need something like that grease and that deliciousness. I don't know, cheesesteaks are good, but also like if I'm during the day, if we're doing something too, definitely like a burrito, man. I love Mexican food. I'm a huge like Nina burrito advocate. Anytime there's a Nina burrito in any distance I go, the burritos are giant, they're huge. Cowboy Crunch is the way to go. So that's all I'm saying. Go. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I do know what you mean. You like your burritos baked?
No, I like my burritos and my cheesesteaks.
Okay. I was like baked burritos. My mom is the only person I've ever done that I've ever seen. She bakes her burritos. She bakes her burritos in the oven. It's really good, but I thought that was the way burritos were made. And then I live in the Southwest, so I have learned different since then. This is the land of good burritos.
It is.
You can't shake a stick without a good burrito here. It's like there's at least 20 shops within like probably 5 miles of here that make the best burritos you've ever had. So burritos, very good. And so then my other question is, right before you're about ready to go on, are you eating anything or what are you drinking?
So lately I've been doing scapegoats. I've been doing seltzers, but usually I have a shot of whiskey before I go on. It really calms the nerves. But we actually have a 2-beer rule before we play. And it's usually like light beer or like, again, like a seltzer. Because like actually, fun fact, one time, it was like our 3rd show ever. We all drank way too much for the show. Went up on stage and we're like 3rd song in. And literally like I repeat like the chorus like literally 3 times. It's like, it's just the aspect. So I feel like a dumbass. I turned around, looked at them. I was like, I don't know if I can keep playing. Like, you gotta keep playing. So we finished the set out, and like we didn't do terrible, but it was a learning experience. So now it's called the Josh rule. It's the 2-beer rule.
Josh rule because Josh made the rule. Made the rule happen.
Josh.
He pulled a Josh. Yeah, that's right. He pulled a Josh. That's now going to be it. Did you pull a Josh? What?
Did you?
So that, you know what though, that's not the first time I've heard that, where you have to learn, like, it's one learning experience of, yeah, we can't play like this. It's either way too high or way too drunk. You can't play either one. Like, I had a roommate in college that thought he wrote his best papers when he was high, and he would be like just blazed out of his mind, and then he would write these papers and he'd be up like 2 hours just typing, and he flunked out of school. So just let you know, not such a good idea. He's like, I don't think the teacher agreed with my high rule. I'm like, yeah, I don't think she did either. It's like he was in one, and he was one of those kids that came in there with like advanced classes, and he was in the honors program. Flunked out his his freshman year. Horrible. But just because he thought that smoking pot is the way to go for better grades. Maybe it worked in high school. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. So good. That is good. So we're going to talk. We're going to move on to music. And I know James has some good questions for you.
Just like we asked all of our pretty much COC guests, really talking about the process of getting on the COC, how you guys met up with Dave and Rosie, getting involved with that, and the church and stuff like that, and pretty much starting with that question. So.
Yeah, sure. So, I am, first of all, with the church, I am so thankful for those people. Shout out to Jesse and Rose, and Dave and Reese from the church and Scott Church. They're actually the people who gave us our first opportunity when it came to performing live. So it was a big deal. But actually, our first show we ever did was at the church, and at Scott Church, the church you might have even heard. Go check it out. It's awesome. They give musicians opportunity, chances to get their name out there, and it just continues to grow. Like, bands just go in every direction. It's just it's a growing process. It's awesome. But our first show we ever did there, and Dave and Rose were there, and Rose came up to me after the show. She goes, I freaking love you guys. You guys are so unique. And at the time we had a different drummer. We were kind of figuring some things out. We were like, are we going to go more this tribal route, or are we going to go more grunge? And then, before we found Elijah, but they discovered us. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, you should submit like an audition for the CO2, the COC, for the Carnival of Chaos. And we did. And, when they made the announcement, we were like mind blown that they asked us, because, we didn't have a lot of playing experience yet. We've only did like 2 or 3 shows, and it was just like huge opportunity. But, they loved what we did. We performed well, and it just went from there. So it's really cool.
I will have to say this, and we will give them a shout out. Rose and Dave are just 2 of the most amazing people. We've had them on the show a couple times, but honestly, I just really like them. They're just really genuinely good people trying to make this happen. And I'm always like amazed, because Dave is such a really nice guy, but he plays this angry metal. He's just playing amazing metal, like thrash metal, and you're like, but I love it. I mean, the guy is just, and both of them as a team are really awesome. Chaos Guitars, who we're talking about, just to let anybody else know, chaosguitar.com. Absolutely a wonderful team of folks working on. And if you have I've had some instruments from there. So now I've had one of my good friends bought that auction guitar, and then I had I had my own little custom made there. So totally wonderful guitar repair / maker. He has his own line. So there's my plug for Chaos Guitar. Absolutely fun. And we're going to the church, which is, I heard that venue. We've heard so much good things about that venue. Just amazing people saying, yeah, that's a rockin' venue.
It is. It's such a cool environment. I mean, like, you feel like you're at home, because again, there's couches and stuff set up, and then it's just got like there's art everywhere, and there's just cool people to talk to, and there's a really big thing building in Lebanon right now, and and it's crazy to to think because Lebanon out of all areas, but like there's something growing there. It's in a big way, not a small way.
We totally agree, and that's what we were talking about earlier with that Northeast whole Pennsylvania vibe. There is something going on musically that is amazing. We've interviewed a few outside of Carnival of Chaos folks. We had interviewed a couple people from the Northeast that were totally great people, and then we got kind of hooked up with Dave and Rosie, and then the whole group around that, and we're just so surprised and like really well surprised. But we're happily surprised. I'm looking for the right words there. Happily surprised about how good the music is there. I mean, it again ranges from really great metal, which we've heard a lot of good metal bands, and then we've also heard bands like yours, which are a good indie rock. I don't even know, how would you classify your music? So before I insult your music or something.
No. That's a really good way to put it. Recently we've gotten hooked up with this guy named Jose. He's been helping point us in the right direction. He's been huge for us in terms of like pointing us the right direction, giving us advice in terms of recording, things of that nature. But he gave us a really cool comparison, and a lot of people really hear it when we say it, but like we get the Doors and the Cult had a baby. That's what we get when you hear our sound, because we bring some of that funk, and then you bring that like that pure classic rock vibe, and then you hear these blues, and you hear this real grunge element to us, which we're evolving with our pedals and stuff. Our sound's really evolving, so it's been cool. But when we started out, we really had a really raw indie vibe, or this like Midwest punk vibe. So I don't know, it's just, but the Cult and the Doors really kind of like that. That's like kind of like where we go at with in terms of our sound. Huge influences for us too as well. I mean, Jim Morrison's like one of my idols. So I mean,
that's good.
Like you said, it's a unique sound. You know what I'm saying? Like what we said what I said backstage when we first connected, and you messaged me. I checked out your guys' music. It was just, I was expecting just by your name. I was expecting like something like thrashing and something grabbing you by the face. You know what I'm saying? And it was totally opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? There was still rock in there, like the indie rock vibe, whatever, but it was a vibe and a good like balance of mixture, you know what I'm saying, with the vibe and with rock. So that's what, as you progressively listen to it more, you kind of like, oh, like it's also awesome. You kind of groove with it, you kind of relate with it, so it's well put together.
Agreed. And also a good lyrical. I really just am going to go to the lyrics again. Those are, I think, your guys' strength. I think that's one of your big strengths is with the lyrics. Where are those kind of coming from? I mean, that's kind of like some of them are great life experience things. So I'm just like, wow, this is really good stuff.
Sorry, can you repeat that again? Sorry,
No worries.
They were saying something. Sorry, she was saying something to me, and it blanked out.
Do you know what? That's what happens. You have to do that. When a woman opens the door, you better listen. That's rule number one.
That's the oldest. That's Nati. She's awesome.
Yes, that's what you have to do. That's what good husbands, good boyfriends do. So I am going to. So lyrical. How do you coming up with these lyrics? And I think that's one of your strengths.
Yeah. So I'm a songwriter first. Always. The upcoming EP we come out. It's called Trust in the Feels. It's about a really hard time I had in my life over the last 2 years. I had some questions about my mental health, exiling from the world, breakups, situationships, things of that nature. And I actually write about situations a lot because it's a really common topic these days, because they really do damage people, because you get so invested into these situationships, these temporary relationships, and then they kind of just divulge and disintegrate. And I always want people to know that you can be okay with writing about being in your most vulnerable state and exposing yourself in that state through my lyrics. A lot of people, when they hear us play live, the biggest thing that we bring to the table is you can really feel our emotion when we play. and you really feel our energy, and that's what brings you in and kind of sucks you into Chokehold. So like it's the biggest pleasure in my world when people come to me and say they love how I write. We have lots and lots of more music coming out too. Like we have a song called Her Eyes Change Color coming out that I am so pumped to release. You have no clue. It's got one of the coolest progressions I've ever created as a musician. And our bass player Eric, he is from the jam band. He actually originates from the jam band scene, so he has like this really like just like dynamic way he plays bass. And Elijah has got this. He actually originates as a gospel drummer, so he's got like this real like these really like just precise and just like really loud and explosive drumming pattern. So it's just gonna bring that song out. So I'm really pumped to have you guys hear it, and I can't wait for all of our music to officially release. It's gonna be awesome.
We're can you talk a little bit about like how you guys are recording, where you guys are recording, like location wise, the process of that and your experience with that as well from your other songs that you have now to what you're kind of doing right now with your new album.
So we're going through Equinox Studios. We're gonna be working with Don Belch. He was in a band called Nine Tail. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but they were a very big metal grunge band in like the 90s and 2000s. He's got a lot of experience. So that's why we're going through that. Our previous recording, we were going through like Denny Joseph. He's actually got a YouTube channel. Check it out. He's a brilliant guy. He's just so busy. We couldn't link up with him to do our recording with him because that's who we were going to go with originally. It's called Ghost Town Studios. It's really awesome. He does these really cool videos. We actually have a video that we did with him when we all started out. It's for our song Soul Finder, which is a really awesome song that we do that I think you guys appreciate, that we've evolved since starting it. But he's going to really bring out and capture that Doors and Cult and that grunge sound that we're looking for with our music. And then we're going through our GFX through a guy through the same studio with the guy who does the GFX. He actually works for Marvel. So we're like super pumped to have this brilliant, bright, vibrant art on our album covers and our EP cover that's going to be coming out. He's doing a really good job. So we're just like super pumped to see our sound even evolve more and have you guys, look back at our old tracks and then have us look at our new tracks and it's like, whoa, look at this progression going up. We want to keep surprising people, and that's the big thing with music. I don't want people to get bored. We want to keep changing things up for you guys.
Very nice.
It is cool. I think that's the cool thing about the whole show, right? That's the whole show, is being able to produce these amazing songs, making great art for it, even a video or two, but then also being able to go on the road and be part of that vibe as well, where you can get the feedback from your fans. So right. I love that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it means a lot, man. And thanks for letting me come on here and ramble a little bit about what we're doing. The hardest thing we have right now is we have great support in such a PA. We're getting marketing out, but we really want to go national with our sound and more people to know who we are. So, excuse me. So this is such an awesome opportunity, and you guys are so awesome. I love what I heard from both of you. It's so cool.
Yeah, well, we've been enjoying all of this, and this is the fun thing is we get to have the fun because we get to interview. You guys are putting in all of this work. I mean, there's so much work going on, folks, behind the scenes, and that's why we try to tell everybody there's so much to this business. There is so much. You got bookers, you got managers, you got tour agents, and most of these people, if you're a smaller band like yourself, you're probably doing most of it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's a lot of work that goes into this, and you're not getting, especially for most bands are never going to get the huge amount of money. You guys do it for the passion, hoping that maybe somebody will hear, you guys will hit it big, but you guys, are going to get a certain fanship, and that sometimes is good enough for you. For a lot of bands, that's what they live for, is the people, just even if it's 20, 30 people vibing with you.
Yep.
That's good enough. That's why you write the music, right?
Like I said, you're starting off your shows and stuff like that. You're just starting to kind of play your, more shows. And you've got more shows like this month or in last month as well, playing with stuff. And Like I said, more like you keep going, more shows you do, more exposure you're getting, and more building of your fan base. And I mean, all that is in word of mouth spreads out. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have that nationwide exposure. And then once you get like on like, I know you mentioned something like Spotify and stuff like that, trying to get yourself onto that as well. You're on just SoundCloud and YouTube right now. But yeah, getting more stuff out there, and yeah, it's a lot of exposure. And then yeah, I think progressively you guys will expand further out.
Well, this is
for sure. No,
well, this,
no.
yeah,
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, well, you guys are good music, and that's the other thing is that you guys are producing good music, and when you produce good music, people will start word of mouthing it, especially in your area. Now you're getting a little bit, we're worldwide. I'm not sure about nationally. We're worldwide, everybody. We're on the internets.
Yeah,
but we're worldwide. We're Tasty Licks worldwide now. But no, we're that's the one thing is that we love it, trying to expand, and we love the fact that we get to interview folks like yourself that are really passionate about what they're doing. And this is when I think about some bigger artists and you talk to them and they've been down the road. Like if you talk to a Guns N' Roses or somebody like that, they've been there, done that. And some of them they've lost their passion maybe a while ago. They're still going through the motions, some of them. And then you have groups like yourself, which is who we love. You guys are so passionate about music. You guys are writing it because it comes from your heart. It's coming from deep places within your soul.
Right.
And those are the things that make people excited about music to me.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, like, there's a, gosh, blanking names right now. I'm usually really good with names, but the lead singer of Coffee with Lions, I met him at our first show at the Kennel almost a month ago. He told me that it's one of the best piece of advice I've ever heard. He goes, it's not about how many people are in the room. It's about who's in the room. Yep. And that's the biggest thing. And that's going to help you build, especially if anyone who's like in a newer band like us, like we've been together for almost a year now, as a full unit, with all the crazy complications and changes we've made. But like, we keep trucking, keep driving, and just, we don't want the dream to die, man. Like we want to do this. And we're not about the money either. Like at some point the money will come, but like right now it's just like we're doing because we love it.
Fun and passion. The fun and passion first, and then more of that will come later on. But staying passionate, staying driven is definitely the key.
We got, who was it? And I can't remember who. They may have been Relapsed. One of the members. Who was that member? It was the group that was like all older people. Now I'm totally gonna blank their name.
Ford the River.
Yeah, Ford the River. So we were talking to Ford the River. One of the lead singer was somebody who tried to do it for 20 years, right? And now he created a band that they're just having fun.
Yeah.
And to me, that was like one of the best interviews because it shows why we do this. Why do we create music? It's not for the money. It's because of how we feel, and we're expressing ourselves as artists to be able to vibe with somebody else. And sometimes we vibe with a lot of people, and sometimes we vibe with a couple thousand,
Yep.
So it doesn't matter as long as that expression from you is coming out, and that's the biggest piece. And I think that for you, that's what I can see lyrically what I was feeling and some of the emotions in your music. That's why I like your music. I love metal music, don't get me wrong, but I really like well-written music the best.
Thank you.
And I think that when you can mix it correctly, you have the art of mixing, the lyrics are amazing. They really do you can feel that emotion coming from them. And you're telling a story. I love that.
Yes.
And then you have the instruments playing together well balanced. I think that is what is good music. And I think that if you can keep doing that, you guys will go far because of that. So
yeah, no, 100%, Mike. And the good thing too with this is like we have short-term goals right now, which we're focusing on, but the long-term goal obviously is to to make it big. I think it's every musician's but like we just got a huge opportunity in October. We're going to be playing with the band Sponge. Do you know who Sponge is from Detroit? Check them out.
Sponge?
Yes, check them out. They're like a hard rock band from Detroit. Like it's our first chance playing with a national band. So like again, like you work hard, you put that talent and you put that effort in, and it's like it just keeps going. And I don't like talking about myself. I hate talking about myself or talking about us, but like, we be like, we're so excited and we just want people to know, it's like it gives you this high. Like my favorite moment from our love draft show this past Monday, I saw people clapping and dancing, and like these there's this video of these three guys like headbanging like this, and it's like this is the high that I want to experience for the rest of my life.
There you go. Right.
That's that good. I
With
mean,
music,
everybody has that. Well, everybody that enjoys music always has that. I mean, even I do. Like sometimes, I'm like, I always want to be on stage and like have just people rock out. You know what I'm saying? Like you always have that like, or when you listen to music, you have that like picture in your head playing an instrument and like watching people like jam out to what you're playing. You know what I'm saying? So I can't imagine like how that high is. You know what I'm saying? When you see people rocking out to your music.
Yeah, man.
Something you wrote, that's the one thing. Yeah. I play guitar and I play mostly covers. But when I get a chance to go play, sometimes I'll go on TikTok and just play a bunch of covers. But then sometimes I'm able to just go play some blues. And I'll just get on and just play some blues. And sometimes I've had, a few people watch. And then like a couple times I have more. And it's just fun to be able to play, because blues to me is one of those coming from your soul. I get into blues rock. That's why I'm a big AC/DC fan. I'm really into the Black Crowes. I'm really into that bluesy Southern rock kind of, as well as, AC/DC is not really Southern rock there. Well, really Southern rock, Australian rock. but that that some of that 70s stuff, Led Zeppelin, you're just that blues that just comes out of you with some distortion, and I love that stuff. I love that stuff because it's just, it to me is one of those things that what makes me emotional. It's what gets me through my day sometimes, being able to write. And that's what I get with the lyrics, is that sometimes those things you get out and you put it into the lyrics of your song, you play them, and emotionally it's a way of, it's therapeutic.
It is.
To put that stuff on paper. And I think that when we're talking mental health, that's a big thing about music, is that vibing with it as a listener, but also as a writer, you're putting that emotions in paper, and it's therapy right there. It's being able to express yourself. That's why journaling and things like that are so important. But this is like journaling to be able to put it into a form of a song, which is really cool. I love that, man. That's cool stuff.
It's I know, like you're right. It's like when you're able to, like, and it's crazy sometimes too when he puts them down on paper, or like a lot of times, like I'll be on the go, like I'm at the gym and I'm like, I think about these lyrics, I'm just like, oh crap, this sounds good. And like, and sometimes it takes you a couple of days to finish these songs, but like or like you write a song all at once and then you go back and you're just like, you can kind of fix things and fit words and stuff. But I mean, it's a good way to spend your time, like we were talking about before the show, like, I like the game sometimes, but usually when my free time, it's usually I write, or I just jam and play, on the acoustic, or I go down the basement, plug in and just, like lock in and just sing it out loud. Sometimes I just sing and play and write, and I'm like, oh, this sounds cool. I want to, record it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to write that down, but everyone has a different way of writing, but it's got me through so much, brother. I can't tell you enough.
Right on. Tell us about your writing. How do you, so you like mostly you're just do you have a journal that you bring around with you, or are you like one of those people that just has a journal that they're taking their music journal, or are you one of those people that just puts it, like takes some notes on your phone? What are you doing?
I actually do it on my phone. So like actually like it's crazy. Like you'll see like here's for example, like here's Soul Finder, but like, I keep them. I just start writing, and like there's even like some of these like notes I have in here. It's just like it's an entitled song, or just like even it's just like it says lyrics, and like some days I'm out and about, and like these words will come to my head and I have to write them down. So I just keep a sheet in it. But that's how I do it. I used to write more on paper, but now like more than I'm on the go. Like I'm a personal trainer, so I have clients all the time and stuff. And I help my girl out with her kids and stuff, and cooking and all that stuff. So like it really helps me freelance it.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah, that's the great thing about IT and technology is that it's always around you, and so you can take that phone and you can take little notes with your either voice memos, or you can do, or you can just type it really quick on your phone. I do that all the time. It's really fun, especially when you get new ideas about maybe like you're talking about like a different chord progression or something that you might want to try. See how that sounds. They even have stuff now that you can just hear it on your phone. You can just put in the chord progression, and then you can see what it would sound like. So yeah, songwriting tools. It's pretty cool.
It's crazy how the world has changed. It's even in technology for musicians. I mean, like now everyone's using these loop pedals and stuff, dude. I mean, it saves you like you could like play a riff and keep it on a loop, and then the next day go back and click it back on. The loop will still be there, and you can just pick it up where you're right where you left off. It's crazy.
So this is my question for you. Are you more? I mean, it sounds like you're kind of into the technology. Are you into modeling amps and all that stuff, or are you still into the Hey, I prefer like the old Fender and like tubes and things like that.
I'm a tube guy.
Yeah.
I like the more classical sounding amps. I mean, personally, the newer amps, I like the Marshalls and I like the Orange amps, but I have a tube. I have a tube crate amp. I think it's a tube 2. It's a tube 2. So, it's my baby. And I also have I have a Peasley too, which just gives that overdrive and that like that kick.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But I love the distortion pedal. I love my overdrive pedals. We have a delay we use sometimes too, and I just picked up this fuzz pedal, which I can't wait to use. The fuzz.
What did you bring up? What'd you buy?
It's called it's called Kugla.
Okay.
I'm doing it because my friend Eric he's one of my best friends, but our bass player, he has this pedal he got from like China, and it's called like Russian fuzz. I'm like, I need to get me one because he uses it sometimes for like like our song "If I Love You, I Love You." He does like this like crazy like bass solo, and he like kicks it on and just gives it this really like fuzzy, vibrant like dark sound. So like I was like, I need to get one for my guitar.
Yeah, I have a muff pie, so I have the classic muff pie. So I got that idea from Smashing Pumpkins. That's who really made it famous. But I love that. I love that pedal a lot. Now I have turned into the modeler amp guy. So I have what you can see behind me is a Line 6. And it's a Spider 5. You can play like 10,000 tones on it. It's crazy. It's kind of like the Line 6 pedals, but you don't have to have this is an amp, like 240 watt amp, so it's loud. I think I've literally had it on 2. I have it on a 2, and people are still complaining about it because it's so loud. So
2.
I have it on 2. I can turn it up to 2 and people won't complain. But when I've
on a bad day to be like 20.
Yeah, I put it up to 5 once, and it was so loud in this room.
You're rattling at walls.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. I love, but I'm an AC/DC fan, so Marshall tube amps are like what I started off with. So I still have a Marshall tube amp sitting next to me, but I've been really vibing with this because I can be playing some sort of crazy blues stuff, and then I can just click a button and there I am playing some Hendrix, or I'm playing, and they actually have a pedal that you can do where you have a wah-wah pedal on it, and you can just choose your different effects on it. So I love that stuff. It's cool.
Nice.
Line 6s are neat. I've been doing music for like 15 plus years, man. I started when I was 15, but my 16th birthday, my mom and dad got me a Line 6 amp, like a Fender Line 6 amp, and I just remember like messing around with it in the basement of our house, and like I was like, holy crap, is this thing loud?
It is loud. It is loud and proud, and I enjoy all the effects. I mean, it just seems like technology. I'm a tech kid, so I just like messing with tech. But when you go back, you're totally right. Some of those old crate amps, those, I'm that Marshall stack. Still hard to beat those. I still enjoy that hum that you get from that tube. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have that just by plugging in, you just hear that hum and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna play something really good right now. Good times. What are you playing guitar wise?
I right now am playing on a Jazz Master Squire. I have a Squire. It's a Jazz Master.
Nice.
I don't know, man. I went to the Guitar Center last summer and picked it up, and I don't know. It's just I don't know if I can play. I mean, I'm a big like Tele fan. I love Telecasters. Actually, like I'm actually getting a new another electric guitar soon. I'm getting a Telecaster, that I picked out at Guitar Center. It's got like this like bumblebee yellow and like it's black and it's so awesome. But no, right. But lately I just been playing on my Squire. I love it.
That's cool. Do you know who you should talk to? And I'm not kidding with you. They just Dave runs across stuff. And he might be able to hook you up with something that you'd be like, this blows away anything that I could possibly build or get from Guitar Center.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was surprised. He got an Epiphone, and my big litmus test was he made an Epiphone special. So it's like, what is it? The dummy down version of a Les Paul, right? So kind of a stripped down version, only has the two knobs. He was able to do some pots with it where you pull up buttons, and he did like a switch where you could turn it into basically a Fender or a Gibson. He's fabulous. So I would definitely maybe talk to him and see if he knows somebody that can, even if he gets like a used Telecaster that he could soup up a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he knows his stuff so well, and to me, he was very reasonably priced. That it was like, yeah, why would I? If I lived in Pennsylvania, I'd be going to him like every time, just because. And then he has his own series, the Havoc series. So that's my next guitar. I have to save up. I just bought my SG, and that was a lot of money.
Yeah. And I didn't purchase the Telecaster, but I mean they have it on hold for me. Like my buddy Zach Huntsman, he's a band called the Spiders HGB, HPG, and they're like a surfer rock band, but he works there. He knows his stuff, and
Oh, there you go.
He told me to come in and check it out, and I like was obsessed with it. But I'm one of those people who like before I buy, I want to make sure it's the right thing. Like with that Squire, I went in there and it's like I don't care, I'm buying this guitar. Like I'm dropping the money.
You.
You know what I mean? But like, but right now, I'm trying to like figure out the better some more prominent solutions because we have a lot of things coming up, a lot of costs and stuff. So
yeah, totally get it. So that was the way I picked up. So I went to a place called Milano's Music in here, and I was just looking. They had like I think they had an Epiphone SG that was just kind of sitting there, and I was like, oh, cool. Do you guys have any more SGs that I've And the guy goes, I got something in the back that we have not even put out yet. And it was a Gibson SG 61 Vibrola. So it has that fantail on it with the tremolo bar. Right. Yep. That was it. And it's beautiful. It was that cherry. It was the cherry stain. So it's not the cherry red. It's the cherry stain. Right. So in the light, you can see the wood. But if you look back, it looks like it looks cherry red. It's the most beautiful guitar that I own. I still love the Chaos guitar. Don't get me wrong, but this is like I'm a big AC/DC fan, so this was like one of the best things I've ever purchased. I loved it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Now the good thing is that Tellys have such a good. I think that Tellys are one of those very versatile guitars. You can play country. You can play surfer rock. You can play rock with it, especially if you just get the Telly and maybe the Strat pickup. Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good guitars. I've seen ones with just the Telly pickups, and those are still really good guitars. You can play blues. You can play all sorts of stuff on a Telly.
One of my best friends, he's a musician. His name's Jackson Wagner. Shout out to these like my brother. Great musician, great guitar player. Fortunately his dad passed away about a year ago. Great amazing musician, amazing person. But one of the things he inherited was a Telecaster, and it has original pickups. And that thing is just like when you play, it's like you're just guys like that. Just it has that rock and roll, man. And again, like you can do the blue, like you said, that blues, the country. He's a folkier. He does more folkier stuff, so he can do his folkier stuff on it. It's just like so awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's a versatile guitar. I've actually really enjoyed. I didn't think so. My wife got me, and I think I showed it off to everybody. I have a Frankentelli. So like probably about I think it's 6 years ago. Fender was outsourcing their Fender Telecaster player series. So they made one from a company in China, and we don't do business. We didn't stop doing business with China. So they made one that came with a telly, a Strat pickup, as well as a double humbucker that you could turn into a P90. So you had just like this flip switch. You had like a 5-way switch. The thing is amazing. I mean, it's just like, it's so versatile. You're like, yeah, it's heavy too. It's a heavy guitar, but beautiful. And it was one of their player series, which I'm always like, Squiers are really good guitars too. So people are like, I have a Fender Strat. I love my Fender Strat. Don't get me wrong. But I heard the Squiers are just fine. My son has a Squier P bass. He loves it.
Squiers are cool, man. They're underrated.
Yeah,
I mean, people usually classify them as like a cheap. My guitar wasn't cheap. I mean, it was, but like when people say like they're cheaper guitars, and like I'm just like, I don't think so. Like
no, and it's what you do with it. I've seen people play like $5 guitar or $100 guitars, and they make them sound good. It's about technique and about what you're playing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. There's
Russ had a question and said,
"Hey, Russ, what do you got?"
Putting raw emotions on paper. It says, how hard is it to still be so vulnerable, like for the public?
So, so can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah, it says, putting raw emotions on paper. It says, how hard is it to be like vulnerable, like for the public, like be still so vulnerable when on public?
Dude, that's such an awesome question. I kind of feel like it, when we're doing it live, I think it kind of adds to like our show and our element. I think it brings people. I think a big thing when we expose the element live, I think it brings people closer. I think it sucks you in a little more, and we're not just trying to like suck you in, but like I think it's like it makes heads turn. And then you can hear it in my voice, you hear the emotion. Like sometimes, like when I sing 3 Wishes at the end, we stop playing and we just sing like, if I could go back in time, I would rewrite our lives, and I finally write you this perfect song, that perfect song, I'd make you feel like you belong. And if I only had 3 wishes, but like, it's just like we pause it, and like I close my eyes, and I just like, I want you to know where I was when I wrote the song. I want you to like, hear the story ending. It's like, the song's about never letting go, but having to let go of somebody who was really important to you. And every time at the end, I feel like, I get down on my knees, and it's almost like I'm going to break down. But like, I want you to know that it's okay, like it's okay not to be okay, and those things. But that's the big thing when I do, and, bring people into that element.
That's absolutely a great question, Russ. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. And like I said, people, when you, like I said, you say emotion like that and you express that, it almost releases, like you said, mental health. We talked about mental health earlier. It releases that, and it could help somebody else like going through something like how you're mentioning. I'm saying everybody, that especially that song is definitely relatable with losing somebody, whether it's through a breakup, whether it's through a passing, whether it's or anything. I'm saying, like you and letting go and kind of living life again. You almost feel like you don't want to live life again, but you have to. That's what they would want you to do. Wouldn't want you to dwell on them passing, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's just, I'm saying, we can't bring them back. So it's just you doing something. You can still memorialize them, still talk about them, but that's the only thing we can do. And then, like you said, you're expressing those words into music and making it relatable. So it's putting your passion, putting your heart on paper, and making it for everybody to listen to and to feel it.
Oh, for sure too. And like a lot of things, like like, and I love what a lot of these emo bands are doing right now, like especially like with like the new My Chemical Romance song. I think it's the foundations of But anyway, the new My Chemical Romance song is a really good aspect because, like, you know, they're still bringing those like super emotional lyrics, but they're also displaying that just, you know, they're not just trying to pull you in and make you feel sad. They want you to feel the release. You know what I mean? Of what you experience, and that's a big thing too. Like, we don't want people to, like, you know, feel like we're just like a bunch of sad boys. You know, we're just like, we're people who have healed. We're people who have recovered from everything that we've been through. You know, and that's the big thing. You know, we learn and grow, right? That's what we want.
Right.
Great story. Great answer too. You know, that's so interesting is that they call music the great healer. And I think that is something on the listener as well as the creator's side. So yeah, it's amazing. And I was looking forward to being able to talk to you about that. And I kind of got that's what your band was about, was being able to express emotion and feelings. And I love that about a good band, is being able to express yourself well. We've had a few really good lyrical geniuses on this ship over the years, and I'll tell you that, like, South for Winter was another example of another good band. But I say Chokehold is right up there. You know, just great lyrics, and I love the fact that you're talking about what you're doing in this show to help people to know that they're not alone. So you guys may not realize this, that even though you're putting on paper, it's your therapy, it's your piece of being able to express yourself, that kind of stuff expresses itself to others in ways where they don't feel alone anymore. If they're going through something similar, just like what James was saying, you know, you're feeling whatever it is, this feeling, but knowing that you're not the only one. I felt this too. That's why I wrote this song. And then again, sometimes it's not written like you think it is, but you feel that that's what it was, but it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't always have to be the creator's intention to make you feel this way about this song. It's just, it makes you feel that way. And that's what you needed for your healing. You know,
Absolutely.
That's part of your journey. And sometimes that's the best part of it. That's what's great about it being a universal healer, is somebody gets something out of that music. And I think you guys are definitely on the right path for that.
Dude, I mean, you're gonna make me cry, man. That's everything we're doing. It's our mission. You know, we want to make you guys happy through our sound, and, you know, want to help you guys, engage and be part of the process. It's a big thing. Like, we don't want this to be about ourselves. You know, we want to bring everyone in with us, and we want people to follow us with this process and make you part of every journey. Like, a good example though is like our song "Best Friend." I think it's my favorite song that we play live because we bring so much energy. But the song's actually about a relationship I was in where I was being verbally and physically abused by a female. I won't mention her name, but, like, you know, the whole song's about it led me to the point of, like, you know, almost taking my own life. So, you know, when we play that song, we make it like kind of sound like happier, but it's like, again, it's like it's that growth that that I learned. You know, I survived, I got through it. You know, I learned how to deal with it. You know, now these people can do it too because I did it. You know, we kind of revolve around that process too. But, like, it's just awesome, man. I love it, and I love that you guys appreciate it. It means so much to me.
Yeah, well, that's what we're about. Is
like, after your shows, like I said, talking about like your songs, like, yeah, after the shows, you have like fans or you know, something like that, like, come to you guys or like talk to you guys, or and you interact with them and stuff like that. You can kind of get into like maybe certain like discussions about your songs or your meanings of your songs. Do you ever have like interactions like that?
Yeah. One actually it was pretty recent. It was actually the benefit show we just did. We just played with Nail Bite. So that was a big opportunity for us because, you know, Nail Bite is like literally just played Incarceration Fest, and they just, you know, open for Spirit Box, which is like, I worship that band. I love what they're doing. But after we got done playing, there's this young woman who came down. She's a drummer. Her name's Rain, and she was doing some serious medical issues, and she was like, just kind of went up to me. She goes, you know, my favorite song that you did was 3 Wishes, because, you know, it kind of like, she goes, I interpreted the lyrics a little different. You know, even though it's about never letting go, you kind of reminded me that I shouldn't let go of my dreams of getting back into drumming. So, like, dude, I literally cried, man. Like, I was like, can I give you a hug? Like, it was so cool, dude. Like, and, you know, I was just like, this is what it's all about, man. Like people relating to the music, people get it. Like they know what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And even with that, it's like even that like interaction. You know what I'm saying, you're doing something right. And so when you have that kind of emotion from somebody, a fan or whatever, you're doing something right when you get that. It's always like if you help somebody, like one person, even if you just help one person, like you're doing your job. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you're helping probably more than that. You know what I'm saying? You help that one girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're like on that path of like doing the right thing and you're doing what you love and you're helping people in the way.
And I saw a video of her drumming today. She posted a video.
There you go, my friend. There you go.
I wish I could send it right now. I'll send you guys the show.
Send it. Yes.
We'll have her on the show now.
Yeah.
Cool, right?
I love stories. Yeah. I will tell you this. That's awesome. I'm going to say that this is my shine a light. That right there, friends, is what this is what it's about right there, my friend. Right there is, sending that vibe to somebody and, getting them inspired. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Love you guys. You guys are cool. I feel like I haven't even known you guys that long. I feel like we could all be best friends.
Like, no doubt.
Best friends.
With what I'm going through like right now, I wanted to go to Pennsylvania and see the show. I'm like, man, I want to go there, but I have to save kind of every dollar I can right now. But next time you guys have that, next time you guys throw on a show in the next few months or so like that, I definitely would try to go up there and see a show and hang out.
Dude, we'll get you on the guest list, man, and we'll get you in there. Seriously. Write that down. I'll get you on the guest list, both of you.
There you go. Right on, man. Right on. So everybody, I want you guys to all check out Chokehold. A very fun band. We had a really great interview today. I'm always impressed by where our interviews sometimes go. And this one started off really, really fun as always, but then really kind of got into some really emotional, good vibes. And I'm always about that. I love that stuff. It's what we do this for. It's what you do this for. And I think that's what you can expect coming to a show for Chokehold. Coming up, when is this date? When is this magic date, my friend? Is coming right up. It's
this Saturday.
Yes.
This Saturday. And sorry, I'm like spazzing out because I'm so excited. I've been so excited for this show. But I'm gonna give you the start time of the show.
Yes. I think they have the lineup. The lineup is out now as well for times and things for people to hear what they want to show up. But I would be there all day, folks. I'd be there all freaking day. This is Carnival of Chaos, folks. Carnival of Chaos 2.
Yes,
and
it's an awesome thing because like it's crazy. You see the diversity of the bands. Like it's crazy. It's like Chokehold. So the doors open at 5. We go in at 6. We play for about 45 minutes. There's a changeover, and then the Misanthropes. Am I pronouncing that right? Misanthropes. Yes. Sorry, guys. So it's Isolation, Misanthropes, Bloodborne, Brutality, and then Relapsed. So that's the lineup.
Very nice closeout.
Such good bands. We've got a chance. The only one we're missing out on is Brutality this time. We're doing Isolation. Yeah, we're doing Isolation.
Isolation's next week, and then we try to get Brutality, but they're just so busy with their tour right now, and they couldn't jump on. So. But they
later in the year.
They want to have time because they're going to go to school and stuff like that. So they do want to come on, but it's going to kind of be on their time and when they're available. Yeah. So unfortunately, but next week Isolation, and I think that closes out like our COC too.
Yeah,
that's the last band that we have.
And it's kind of works out good because Isolation, though they are not right before the show, we can hear how the show went from Isolation. So it'll be like a good closure for everybody who's been following the bands that are on Carnival of Chaos. And we've actually even had a band that was like connected with another Pennsylvania from last week. So they're kind of they're connected with Bloodborne. And so, yeah, we're so excited, man.
Love that game, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Bloodborne? It's like my favorite. It's like my favorite game ever. It's like this gothic, like satanic, like world, and you're just corrupted by like monsters and demons, and like it's just, dude, it's such a good game. When I heard that name, I was like, is that because of Bloodborne, like the game? But it's not.
Oh, okay, yep. So, and then also we got some emceeing here, so let's throw some of this love up through. So Dave's kind of helping us out a little bit.
Borderline guys are emceeing.
Oh yeah, those are my home. We just did a show with them on Monday, man. That show was crazy. I can't believe how many people came out on Monday night. We had like 100 people there, I think. Over 100 people there. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah, but we're really I if I could have, I did have the 15th anniversary, so I had to spend the money. And honestly, but next year, Carnival of Chaos 3, we are definitely. I think both of us are probably looking.
I'm like, I can't swing that right now. Plane tickets, I'm like, it takes me 15 hours to get there, and I'm like, I'd be driving by myself.
Right. So next year, so next year for sure, we probably will be out there for sure, because we've just made such good friends with all of you all. So we just look forward to hearing more bands, and then being able to see some of the people that we've been hanging out with over the last year from the Pennsylvania area.
My wife's mom right now. My wife's her brother lives in Lebanon. So
cool. Nice.
I mean, they're not. It's not their music, but it wasn't that into that music. But I wish I was there. You know what I'm saying, chilling and hang out. Yeah. But next year for sure, or hell, even during the next upcoming year. So
how about Tasty Licks Music Festy? You guys should start work. You guys should work on that.
We should. You know what? I've talked to my sister about that a bit ago, because we could do there's Coachella is like the big thing out here now in Cali, right? But Arizona really doesn't have anything, and there's a lot of really great bands out here in Arizona. So, she's been trying to work on something. So you never know what's in the works. She's up and coming, and she'll she could make something. I know she's been looking for something in Arizona, probably over by Jerome area, which is, if anybody knows that area, that's where now I'm not going to remember his vineyard or who it is. Maynard from Tool.
Oh, okay.
So Maynard from Tools, his vineyard is right there.
Oh, wow.
So pretty cool.
Oh, speaking of like people who own things that are like famous, like August Burns Reds from this area. They're from Lancaster, PA. But the lead singer just opened a gym up here called the All Life Gym. Dude, it's awesome. Like it's cool. I mean, it's one of those things. It's kind of like, we have the Skid Row garage here. And it's it kind of adds that, it's cool when you see musicians kind of give back to the area. He's really investing into it. They're all big into weightlifting and stuff. I think that's cool. Yeah.
That is cool. So that's my new. So everybody who's been watching the show for a while saw that I had stopped eating chocolate bunnies and started hitting the gym. And I've been, trying to hit the gains. I'm a little bit older, so it's a little different of an experience this time around, because when I was in my 20s, I worked out like a gym bunny. Now I'm still going to the gym a lot, but I'm, my recovery times are less, but I'm taking the right stuff. I'm, doing the right supplements, and now I can afford the supplements. That's been kind of nice. So I can throw down that BCAA as a pre, and then I can throw some, creatine after, and do some different things with supplements to help kind of not make me feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you that it's made, I feel so much healthier. I was able to go out and boogie board this last week, and I felt like I could ride the waves. I was there, and I wasn't huffing and puffing upstairs, and I wasn't about halfway. I wasn't taking breaks every half hour. I was out there for a solid 2 or 3 hours before I felt like I need to come back in. So it was nice. It was really nice to feel a little bit more healthier. So yeah,
that's awesome, dude. You ever need a program? Let me know.
Yeah, for sure. I've been
recommendations and stuff. Let me know.
I might actually do that, just because that's always, I'm looking for shift. I'm right now doing a lot of push pull and then leg day. And then I want to be able to throw some different workouts into hey, I'm going to do this for a month and then throw in another thing to just switch it up to another thing that's going to help me get some more gains in some other ways. And, so I might, I'll talk to you, dude. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, let me know. Okay.
Then I'll have that whole hey, this is also what Chokehold's doing. Here I am at the gym listening to Chokehold, doing a workout by Chokehold. Right there.
There we go.
I do it after usually after a show, I'll be go to the gym, and then I'm working out to their music. So just solidly working out to that music.
That's the best.
Oh yeah,
Yes, man.
especially when you're like, I interviewed those folks and I'm working out to their music right now. Good stuff, man. Good
Right.
stuff. Yeah, I love it. So look forward to a Instagram post here in a bit about Chokehold's, working out at the gym. So very cool.
Yeah, dude.
Throw some SoundCloud up there. So and we'll just have to get you guys back. We'll have to get you guys pushed to Spotify here in a bit, and then that's always an ordeal.
We will look at it. We're looking at the first week of September. We're gonna
good.
week of September. We're gonna drop one single. It's gonna be 3 Wishes.
Cool.
And then hopefully we're hoping by the October 1st we'll have our EP out for you guys. It's gonna have 6 songs on it.
Right on.
And then we're hoping by after Christmas we're gonna have the whole album out. It's gonna be 10 to 12 songs. So
right on. And that, do you know what that means? Worldwide, my friends, worldwide. So we will talk to you all.
If anybody's listening to like this and they're trying to look up Chokehold like on YouTube, I know like there's another band called Chokehold as well. So so go to like their Instagram, check their stuff out, and there's links in their bio. So I mean, because I know when I came across, when I was searching Chokehold on YouTube, it was another band that was popping up. So
Chokehold PA, everybody. Chokehold PA. That is their Instagram bio. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, it's Chokehold _PA on Instagram, and then YouTube. If you really just type in Chokehold and type in Soul Finder, you'll find all of our videos, and you'll find our one of our first music videos. And then if you go on Bandcamp, you'll find us on Bandcamp. We have a bunch of like demo tracks on there. We have like a bunch. Some of them are like as a band. Some of them are like acoustic stuff. I just post stuff to keep up with us because recording process, as you guys know, is craziness. So now we have things established. We're gonna have real music out for you, but it would be Bandcamp, and then it would be Chokehold .pa. So but it's actually our sorry, let me make sure I give you the correct information here, because I'm like losing my mind right now. Let's see. Yeah, it would be chokeholdpa.bandcamp.com. So if you want to like download our music, and it's all free for you too, or stuff. So, or you can just donate if you want $1, whatever.
Donate.
Donate $1 to the music. That's where it goes. That's the best way to get funds to a band. It is the best way to get funds to a band. So again, go check them out. And we, as always, are so excited to have you on. Next week, we have another wonderful Carnival of Chaos. It'll wrap up the Carnival of Chaos series, and we'll get to hear about all the fun highlights of the shows. And, we're going to probably have Dave and Rosie back on right after that, just to get them to tell us about the show and how they felt it went, and, that kind of stuff.
We'll recap and how everything went.
Yeah, we'll have to recap with Dave, and we will talk about that later. Dave and Rosie, we'll try to get you back on here in the next month. So, so that is all I have to say. Any last words, Josh?
Sorry, I just want to say thank you for having me. And I'm sorry, unfortunately, Eric and Elijah couldn't be here today. Okay. And I apologize also for we just moved into our house, so like my house is in shambles right now, so I apologize for the background. But thank you so much for having me. I'm blessed, and I hope you guys all check out our music. And I just want to thank James and Andy here. These guys are great people. They're doing big things in the music industry through food and through music, and just talking about life. It's just an awesome opportunity. So thank you. And another thing, there's always light in darkness. So just keep pushing and keep pushing yourselves, and strive for those goals. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Great message, my friend.
You said it better than I thought.
And James, I love it. James, what was the last thing you got to say, my friend? What do you got to say?
Yeah, other than that, man, yeah, we appreciate you coming on. I know it was a little bit of a mix, kind of like when we tried to get you on the first time, stuff going on, which is totally fine. But no, totally good. We had somebody else to kind of cover up real quick, and it was no problem. But we're glad you got you on, and we'll definitely have to have you guys on with Elijah and Eric next time, to get you all on the same time. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and like I said, definitely good vibes. I know we kind of went over the hour mark, but it's been just a chill time, and
it has been.
So you don't really look at the time and stuff like that. So
I couldn't believe it.
Like, oh my god, it's an hour and a half almost. So
Yeah.
but no, we really appreciate it.
Good times.
Hey, man.
What do you got to say, James? What's the last word you got to say, as always?
Stay tasty, right? Stay tasty.
Stay tasty.
Stay moist and tasty.
Stay moist. Stay moist and tasty.
That's right.
See you
We'll
guys.
see y'all later.
Later on, guys.